Good morning. My name is Rebel and I'm the Rebel Reseller, and today I'm going to be doing the second half of my What Sold video for last weekend, which was June 7th through the 9th. We were traveling back from our vacation in Missouri, but my sales rebounded, and I think a part of it was possibly, I had changed all of my listings back to one-day handling. Just was sending out more offers because technically, we were at home there, and I was just, keeping up with that type of stuff where during the week we had been busy and I wasn't being as active on eBay as I possibly could. So my sales really picked up a lot on the weekend. Still not so much for the other platforms. Before we get started on this also, I haven't done this in a while, so I just need to do my little commercial. If you're liking my content, please go into YouTube and put a like on the videos and give me a comment. It can be anything, just even an emoji, just to make the algorithm on YouTube happy. We also have lots of links down in the description of our video. Links to some of the programs that I use, like List Perfectly and American Bubble Boy and WorthPoint, if you're ever interested in any of them. The links are down there. Also, if you're going to do any shopping online, I have several links down in the description. Also, whether it's eBay, Walmart, Best Buy, all of those are down there. You don't even have to purchase anything from my list, but as long as you use that connection to go into those websites and then do your shopping. We make a small percentage on each of the orders that you place, and it doesn't cost you any more. So we just appreciate all of the support that you guys give our channel. All right, now let's get to it. One sale on Mercari, one sale on Poshmark. Y'all, somebody sent me a message, and it might be one of you guys, that I had spelt Liberty wrong on my listings for Paw Patrol Liberty Dog on eBay. I went in there and fixed eBay. Forgot to go check what other platforms I had it listed on. And it finally sold on Mercari with Liberty. But this little figure, I guess, is kind of harder to find. And it sold by itself for $11. And then on Poshmark, I sold these Sulfur women's jeans for $22. All right, and then eBay. If you're new to my channel, I always make this comment, but I don't do free shipping on any of my platforms. So when I say something sold for $12.95, the buyer also has paid shipping. My shipping for under a pound is flat rate depending on the weight of the package. Everything except clothes that's over a pound, I have calculated shipping on, and I do have it set that the buyer gets my discounted shipping. All right, so first thing, this sold immediately, hadn't even gone on sale yet. If You Give a Dog a Donut from Kohl's Cares, sold for $12.95. Fisher-Price Little People Castle Furniture. Our friend Sam had sent me a picture from a yard sale one day that this person was selling tons of the Fisher-Price Little People sets. I paid $50 for probably 4 sets and some extra figures, and this furniture from the castle sold for $21.33. Duluth Trading Company women's slacks sold for $22.70. Imperial Dinosaur Monster Lizard. It was in a dinosaur tote of stuff that I was on my profit pile, and I finally got to it, and it sold for $9. Land Before Time Ducky and Petrie figures. These were from Burger King. Probably these were from the Hibbett estate sale. I had brought 2 small totes over here that was leftovers that I hadn't processed yet. It was a lot of Burger King, McDonald's, Hardee's, Subway, fast food toys. And I will tend to pick up almost anything Land Before Time anyway. It's probably one of my favorite kids movies. And these 2 figures sold for $8. Plush Creations Hand Puppet sold for $10.05. Y'all, I encourage you to keep your custom SKUs to include when you're listing your items. We went back last year and started putting a date code in all of our custom SKUs so that I know when this stuff was listed, how old it is, and when I get offers on some of the older stuff, I'm more inclined to go ahead and accept it just to make it gone. As long, you know, it'll be reasonable offers. If it's $1, no, it ain't happening. But, you know, it's a good time while you don't have tons. Just go in, make that one of the things to put in your custom SKU. The year and month that you listed it and where you have it located. Whether it's bedroom closet, tote A, like for example on mine, if you look all the way at the top of the screen, I have the date code. Now this 2212 was everything, we just coded it, anything that was listed before January of last year. So it's telling me I need to go ahead and accept offers on this item. Then I have an item number for the bag so that anybody who's pulling my listings can go to the tote that it's stored in and pull this item out. And then the bin number is the 023A. And I have I've got a video out showing how I have my storage system. But I'd encourage you definitely, if you're doing end and sell similar like I do every month, to put a date code in there so that when your listings are starting to get older, you know, if you get an offer that's reasonable, just go ahead and accept it. Make it gone, get the money, and go find something else that might sell a lot quicker. If I didn't say this sold for $10.05. All right, this is a viewer sale, so thanks again, Tracy. Tracy bought this lot of Gons, Webkins, plush. I started lotting up a lot of them. I had a lot of them that I bought in a bulk buy. Most of them, without the codes, you know, are a couple of dollars. Let's say $5. And I just decided to do themes, like this was all reptiles. And it sold $22.45. So thanks again, Tracy. All right. Again, I had a code on here, 2212. Sent out 25% offers and, you know, went ahead and if the buyer counter offers, I'm more inclined to go ahead and accept the counter offers if it's an older listing. $6.04. Blankets and Beyond, for the most part, are just bread and butter. They just don't, but there are a few exceptions. Mary Meyer Marshmallow Giraffe, again, another older listing, took an offer of $11.44. Cuisinart, this thing sold immediately. This was from a Burr Mill coffee grinder. I think it had like 4 parts, and we like listing these as replacement pieces. This was the Chambers clear lid, and it sold for $15.25 immediately. Pixie Elf ceramic figure. Bought this, I think, at my favorite little estate sale. Probably paid 50 cents or so for it, and it sold for $13.45. Vintage Strawberry Shortcake Oatsmobile cart. Picked this up at a recent estate sale with our friends Daryl and Dwayne. I think I paid $1 for it. It is strawberry shortcake. It's missing the pony, but it sold very quickly for me for $11. Wowee Alive Golden Retriever. I used to do much better with this series. They make sounds. I've sold, I think there was one plush that was harder to find that I sold for, I want to say $40 or $50, but for the most part, I think I'm going to probably start avoiding grabbing these. First and foremost, you know, they're electronic, and I just don't always have the greatest luck with them, and they take a while sometimes to sell, but this one sold for $14. from our homeschool curriculum shelf. This is Story of the World. I had the textbook and activity book sold for $26.95. Almost all of these I picked up at yard sales and just kept them in case we were going to use them. I don't think we ended up using this when all the kids were younger, but very interesting to read if you like history like me. Picked this up at an estate sale. Just was throwing a bunch of smalls into a IKEA bag. It is Kinner Seawees. This is the little girl and her animal that went with her. They're mermaids. And it sold in less than a month for $22.45. There's another piece to this set. I can't remember what it is. But mine had some condition issues. The hair was really frizzy. So, you know, $22 was good, but it probably could have gone for $40, $50 plus. UMG floral cover-up. I know this was in the lot of clothes that I picked up last summer where I got that really nice sweater. I've already forgotten the name of it. Can't remember, but it sold for like 200 bucks. But this was just a cute little cover-up, $15.41. Picked this up at Goodwill. I thought it was going to do better than it did, and it took forever and ever to sell. But it was a baseball clown resin figure, $16.95. Disney Toy Story purple snake figure sold for $8.96. A lot of times when I have smalls, if I Google lens them and, you know, they're going to be in my bread and butter range, I will tend to list them by themselves. And then if they're just, you know, better in a lot, then that's what I'll do also. But I guess this one was a little bit harder to find. All right, Spark, Create, Imagine. Again, this was listed for quite a while. Larger 20-inch bear. I had two of them, and this person sent me an offer where she got two of them for $45. So I was very happy with that. And it's larger, so now I've got space that two bears were filling up. Talbot's Petite Women's Top. We get a lot of Talbots in this area. Talbots and Chico seems to be the women's brands that we find a lot of. And a lot of times I can get them for $1 or less. So I tend to pick them up. Petite, a little bit harder to sell sometimes, but they do sell. It took probably about 4 months to sell, $12.71. All right. These have been listed for a very long time, so I was thrilled when they sold at my asking price, or my sale price. How about that? Honors women's jeans. I'm pretty sure that's Target, really old Target. But they must have been picked up at the same place because they're both size 12. And the two Honors vintage pants sold for $39.92. Garanimals Pink Doll Plush sold for $10.49. Chalkware. This particular one, I got an $8.09 offer on it, which I went ahead and accepted. Bubble Guppies. Bought a bag of Bubble Guppies at a kids consignment sale. Just two pieces that formed one set has already sold, I want to say $80, $70 or $80. I've sold some of the other lots of them already. This was the grouper and the Red Lobster, and the two of them sold for $17.95. Cowgirl Tough women's jean shorts sold for $15.05. That was a newer brand to us, but now we tend to look for it. Armchair Shopper Haunted House figure. This, again, had been listed for quite a while and sold for $14 on an offer. Jimco brand Whistler teapot. I want to say I picked this up at an estate sale. We drove quite a ways away because I think everything was like make an offer or, you know, you choose the price at this estate sale. And I remember grabbing this and a couple of other things. Took a while to sell. I listed it last summer and it sold for $17.95. Fisher Price Husky Helpers. If I see them in the bins, I'm going to go ahead and grab them. It's just what I do. I like to save the older Fisher Price. And this one took a while to sell and sold for $8. Pillow Pets, Pee-wee's, Dora, Plush, sold for $8.05. Bread and butter, bread and butter. Y'all, I messed up on this one. You know, we all do this, and this is how I dealt with it. Listed, I think there were 5 dinosaurs, and I got 2 of the bags mixed up. So, you know, I had whatever this, you can see my custom SKU up there at the top. The item number was 18365. It was on the wrong dinosaur. That dinosaur was in this bag and this one was in that bag. So nobody caught it, that it looked differently when it got shipped. And the person sent me a picture saying, this isn't the dinosaur I ordered. I apologized. I, you know, told them that I had mixed up the bags and told them keep that dinosaur. And I shipped this one right away. You know, it was much better to make them happy with an extra dinosaur than to have them turn around and ship it back. And if you ever request a return on an item that you sent the wrong item, I highly encourage you, don't wait till you get it back. Get the correct one in the mail as soon as possible. You can go into your shipping labels on the eBay, you know, I think it's that first column or second column on your hub page. Go down to your shipping labels, find this listing, and there's a print another label. That way it keeps all of the tracking showing that you have reshipped the correct item. And that's what I did. Just printed another label, get it on its way immediately. You don't want them to have to wait. It's your mistake, not theirs. Get your item back, but go ahead and get the correct one sent. For me, it wasn't worth asking for a return, and hopefully I won't get any negative or neutral feedback because they were able to keep another dinosaur. But this Hasbro Jurassic Park 1997 sold for $13.45. Star Wars Micro Machine Action Fleet base and little teeny tiny figure. It was in a tote of smalls that I processed earlier this year, and it sold for $8.06. Monster High's Frankenstein, she's very common, but she still, depending on the age, this one was from 2008, still sell pretty well. This one sold, even with all of her issues, for $22. Nice Carter's plush green horse with the extra stitching around the edges from 2005 sold for $35.95 very quickly. Robert picked this Braun food processor up at a church sale. We paid $20 for the whole thing, and it had lots and lots of parts. Y'all, I already sold the base, which usually that's the hardest part because it's, you know, motorized, it's heavy, it's larger. I sold it internationally through the eBay shipping program, and I just last week got a message back that it was not able to be shipped for export reasons. But eBay let me keep the sale, and I'm guessing it's going to go in one of those eBay pallets that people buy. It's heavy though. So, you know, it's working that if you list stuff and you're in the eBay international shipping program, if for some reason it gets to the hub and it can't be shipped to the country that it goes to, eBay's just going to give you a refund. I mean, you know, refund your buyer for you and you keep the funds. So it worked for me. But back to this one is just the little bowl and lid that went to it, and it sold for $64.95. So the base sold for $93, and then this, and I'm not sure if I've sold any other parts yet, but definitely keep your eyes open for the Braun 3210 food processor. We just picked this up at the Nashville bins before we went on vacation. It was a White Mountain puzzle. We love these puzzles. We got it put together pretty quickly. They're really not that hard. You just got to keep watching the box. You know, pick up a piece, look at the box, put it where it belongs. And that's just Robert and I work in tandem doing this. I usually sit at the top of the puzzle. He sits at the bottom of the puzzle and just kind of help each other out. Sold immediately for $16.95. Ben 10 figure, his name is Diamond Head, sold for $8.96. Carter's Lovey little pink mouse, sold for $9.86. Vintage Children's Corner pattern. I bought a bag of vintage kids patterns at a church for $5 and picked out the oldest ones that were like higher dollar, and then the rest sat until I finally forced myself to process all of them. And I've sold a couple of them along with some of the higher expensive items. But this particular one sold for $7.50. We picked these up at the bins and they sold almost, well, the same week that I listed them. Earth Spirit women's sandals. The series was called Willow, and they sold for $24.26. Disney Tigger 9-inch plush sold for $7. Again, it was an older listing, so I took the offer. Another viewer sell. This is Sherry with the 2 R's. So thank you so much. Sherry purchased this Harry Potter Wizarding World Pygmy plush for $6.50. Thanks, Sherry. Quicksilver Hawaiian shirt. Y'all, we find a lot of Hawaiian shirts around here. It's kind of funny. But this was a size large, and it took a while to sell, though. $13.28. Clark's slip-on women's shoes sold for $12.12. American Eagle women's cutoff jean shorts, $9.75. Cabbage Patch Kids doll. This is becoming one of my just say no items to pick up. I used to do well with them, bread and butter, but they sold relatively quickly for me. Now they take a while. So they're just no. $8.96. Walmart Camo Rabbit Microbeads plush sold for $16.16. And I didn't sort these out by the higher dollars. So my last item was this Yo Toy Biddle Bird. It's from a book by David Kirk, and it sold for $8.06. All right, y'all. Hope you enjoyed this. Hope it's given you ideas of things to be searching for while you're outsourcing at thrift stores, estate sales, yard sales. It's time for me to get ready for church. And for those of you who are fathers, happy Father's Day. We're going to be taking Robert out to lunch after church and just kind of maybe go for a hike or do something fun later today. All right. Bye.